Sorry about that, y'all. We had a quick technical situation, but welcome. You are here with your favorite Monday night sports talk show, and that is Dr. We E Talk Sports, where we give you all the news to make you smarter at the water.
Mm-mm. I lost you.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you now.
Okay. So the question I was asking you was, what has been the most interesting development for you in the NFL over the past 2 weeks?
Oh my God, it's been so much stuff. The Chiefs for one, Shedeur for uh, mainly dealing with him and the coach. Because yesterday they should have let that young man try to win the game or tie the game. Um, who else? Cowboys. The fact that they were good and the fact that they lost, so good happy. It's been a lot. This whole year has been interesting because the people like the Bears, who would have thought they would have been number one, even though they're not anymore. In the division, and who would have thought Minnesota would be so bad? You're like that. You would think they were as bad as they are now. I mean, I didn't think they were going to be great, but I didn't think they were going to be
I
like
didn't like
the
JJ
last
McCarthy in
in the
college.
division. I didn't
I
really.
didn't I didn't like JJ McCarthy in college. I think they have a good defense. I think they have a good defensive coordinator. I think they have an innovative head coach.
They do
But
the
I
offensive line.
think he started reading his own press clippings. Because you had Sam Darnold in the building
Mm-hmm.
and you had a
They had
rookie that you got it for that you picked 10th in the draft and you felt like you needed to validate that pick. So you get rid of Matt Jones or
and
Danny
Daniels.
Dimes.
Yeah,
You get rid of Darnold, and now you're stuck with a quarterback that didn't even play his rookie season because he was injured, and then he has spent a good
he's
portion,
been
about a
injured
third of this
most of this
season,
season too.
injured, half of this season injured,
Mm-hmm.
and when he's played, it hasn't been good. He just had a good game, but it was a Commanders, and they're terrible.
Yeah, and then the quarterback got hurt again.
Yes. So Jaden Daniels goes down again. Their defense is garbage, and
And
so
then
he had his first
their tight
decent
end
game.
tore his ACL. Yeah.
So the Commanders are falling apart, which I I have friends that are Commanders fans, so I feel for them. But remember, Dan Quinn was the coach when we lost
Yeah,
that
lost
Super
to the
Bowl,
Patriots. Yeah.
so I have no sympathy or
Yeah,
empathy for them.
I thought the Commanders would be better than that. I didn't think they were going to be as good as they were their first year, but I thought I thought he would be. If he didn't get hurt, I think he probably would. But I didn't think the team would be as good. But it's injuries.
Dan Quinn
And
is
then
the Dallas Cowboy. Dan Quinn is the Mike Tomlin. He's a Mike Tomlin that was better, like, because his brand of football is antiquated, particularly on the defensive side of the ball. And he's bringing back Bobby Wagner and all these old players that were good, 5-10 years ago, but they're not good players now. And they're overpaying because they're older veterans and they've been in the league. And so they've got minimums and things like that. And so he's overpaying for players that's not getting the production. And their defensive schemes are bad.
Mm-hmm. And they should have paid the wide receiver because he wouldn't have been hurt if he would actually went through a preseason program, most likely.
Exactly. And once teams got enough tape on that defense, because last year it was decent, but they got enough tape and like, oh, this is how you beat them. And they've been getting blown up ever since. I mean, you let J.J. McCarthy come in and give it to you, you got a problem.
True. But who else? I'm trying to think that have surprised me. The Bills, I thought they would be better because they had an easy schedule and they didn't have to travel. Yeah. I thought they would just be a lock for the division, but now it's the Patriots.
Yeah, I think the Bills are they are a surprise. Colin, I was listening to Colin earlier, and he made a good point. He said Josh Allen for the Bills is like LeBron James was for the Cleveland Cavaliers, where he had to do everything.
Yeah, he basically does.
And, when you have a game that you have to score 6 touchdowns because your defense is giving up 30-plus points, you have a game like yesterday, you had to score 4 touchdowns because the defense is,
Yeah, both defense were just bad. In the snow. In the snow.
In the snow, you giving up 30 points? Come on, man. In the snow. It was just.
And you can't do that every game. And you can't do that in the playoffs consistently.
And his defense made 2 plays because those back-to-back interceptions, one was returned for a touchdown, is the reason why they won the game. Mm-hmm. If Joe Burrow doesn't turn those balls over, they would have lost to the Bengals.
Was pressing because he don't have a defense.
Right. And so you're playing teams from a division that nobody wants to win. It's like
I know, like the Ravens in the Steelers game, though, you never know. It's always a close game. People talk about the Steelers. The Steelers could beat the Ravens. They do beat them most of the time, actually.
Nobody wants to win that game. Nobody wants to win that. I mean, no. It's the Ravens are showing.
Oh no, that what you think about the call at the end of the game though?
Oh, that was terrible. Oh, it was terrible. It was a touchdown, and they're saying he didn't advance. He didn't make a football move, and I'm like, you're in the end zone. Why do I need to take a step?
To catch and be in bounds.
Did I solidify the catch? Yeah. And did I have 2 feet in bounds?
Yeah, basically that's
over.
Catch. It'd be different if he was,
That's why, like, you see guys are running, and they have once they have broken that plane, you could slap it out their hand, but they've already broken the plane in the end zone.
Yeah, so it's a touchdown.
So the play is dead.
Yeah,
it's dead. So that part. Sometimes these refs, it shows up that they're part-time, and this is one of those moments where, like, that was such a egregious, and it was. And wasn't it in Baltimore?
Yeah.
You can't get home cooking in your home stadium?
Well,
on a catch, and like it wasn't even home cooking, it would just make the call. So, Lamar's hurt. He's been playing through injuries, and it's showing up. The team, the running game has taken a step back this year, which has impacted their overall. And then when he's not completely healthy, because remember, the running game is predicated on him being a running quarterback, right? It's predicated on him running it, 5-6 times a game on designed quarterback runs. When you take that element out, and when you take out the element of him scrambling when he's dropping back to pass because he's hobbled, he's got an ankle or thigh or whatever, hamstring, defenses can just pin their ears back, right? So now I can play coverage. Now I don't have to worry about him, breaking out. I can rush forward and sit back, and it's making it harder on everybody because he's not 100%. And so, I think my biggest surprise is the Chiefs and their rapid decline. And you could see it,
Massively
you could see it happening.
1-score games caught up with them, and
the low points per game.
Yeah, they won last year.
Yeah. The low points per game is a big indicator. They couldn't score barely 20 points per game last year, even though they were winning. Mm-hmm. This year, those 1-score games are still 1-score games. They're just on the wrong end of it. Yeah. They're not blocking the field goal. They're not getting the PI to kick
they get dropped at the wrong time. But I'm dropped yesterday.
Yeah, remember the first game of the season, the Ravens, the guy's foot was on the line. Otherwise, they would have lost that game, remember? Mm-hmm. And that's how that momentum built to the season. Now, they did have to go win and make it to the Super Bowl. So I'll give them
they did, even though they got
credit. They beat Buffalo. They beat some good teams to get it to the Super Bowl. But then when they got to the Super Bowl, they got exposed, right? And so
that line got exposed.
Mm-hmm. That line got exposed, and that's what was happening yesterday. You play a team with a good pass rush.
Yeah, Texas, and then now CJ back and healthy.
Yeah, that's a team nobody wants to see in the playoffs.
No, nope. But that defense,
including Buffalo, because Josh Allen, remember
ain't gonna be doing all that with the Texans.
Remember, Josh Allen got sacked 8 times against the Texans when they played in Thanksgiving weekend. So he know about that team.
The Texans.
Will Anderson was on his ass like a pair of Fruit of the Loom.
Will Anderson ain't no joke. This ain't no joke.
So yeah, I think they will be a tough out. The team that I feel bad for are the Colts.
I do too. Danny Dine, I feel bad for him. The Achilles.
He's about to get.
He was playing with a broken foot to begin with.
Well,
and then he tore his other Achilles. Man, that's unfortunate.
They went all in on Danny Dimes, and it was good until it wasn't.
Yeah, but he's still better than.
Oh, he's better than Richardson.
Yeah. And I don't think they would have went far in the playoffs, but I think they would have. I think they would have at least made it. I made 1-1 game if they can run the ball. If they can run the ball.
The teams have figured it out. They're like, oh, okay. And then when he couldn't move because he had the fractured fibula, they realized he couldn't move. Oh, we just stacked the box against Jonathan Taylor, shut him down. Then what are you going to do? Right, you shut him down on first and second. Now you're in an obvious throwing down, and you can't move. So I don't know if that was the right decision, but they had a rookie behind him, and Richardson's on IR.
Richardson on IR because he have surgery or whatever. I don't know.
So they really had no choice but try to put him out there. And I mean, you know this better than I do. When the body started overcompensating.
Yeah, there's no other injury. Achilles ain't no
other injuries, and that's what I'm worried about with Sauce Gardner when he said he strained that calf. Like that, with basketball players when they get that calf strain first,
and then they get Achilles later.
Achilles is next to go.
Yeah,
and so, and they try to rest it, rehab it. That Achilles is gonna go. Like it's like I don't even want to wish that for him, but that has been the pattern. Calf strain, then Achilles. And that's what happened to Sauce Gardner. And what makes it worse is they're in a position now where they can't get a quarterback because they traded their first-round pick to get Sauce Gardner.
Oh, yeah, they did to the Jets.
So now you're in a situation where you got no first-round pick next year.
What is this?
The guy that you traded for is injured and might end up missing more time. The quarterback that you had push your chips in, is now injured and going to be out for several months, and he's in a contract year. So do you re-sign him? Because we've seen historically when the Achilles goes, it takes 2 seasons for them to get back to form.
Yeah.
Even though they might be technically healthy. We saw it happen with Kirk Cousins. We saw it happen with Aaron Rodgers.
It's late in the season too. So like it's 9 months is August, which is football.
So there's a lot of, that's a bad run. There's a lot of issues. That team went from potentially challenging for the number 1 seed to now trying to figure out what they're going to do.
Yeah, which is unfortunate. I was actually, even though I'm not a Colts fan, but I felt good that Danny Dimes and Sam Darnold too, even though I really don't want the Seahawks to do anything in the playoffs. But I felt good. I feel like they redeemed themselves after being on bad teams.
They did. I think the problem even before the injury was Danny Dimes still hadn't beaten anybody good, right? And like they beat up on the bad teams.
Yeah.
They lost to the Chiefs and they started losing.
They did, but some people can't beat the teams you're supposed to beat. So, like look at the Jets.
Everybody look.
Jets. I feel bad for him. I feel bad. I feel bad for the Jets actually, and the Jets fans.
But here's the problem though. Everybody was beating the Chiefs. The Chiefs haven't beat a good team this year. Who did they beat? Indianapolis?
No, that's it.
They lost to Denver. They lost to the Chargers.
They lost to us.
They lost to y'all. They lost to
the
Dallas.
Cowboys.
Dallas wasn't even that good based on their record. They lost to Dallas. They had that 4-game, what's that, 3 or 4 game stretch where everybody thought that they were back because they had won a couple of games, but they weren't really beating anybody, and they still got a tough schedule left.
And it was close.
Well,
I don't know what their last 4 games are.
So I think the Chiefs are not going to make the playoffs,
which is interesting.
Well, we're so used to them. Remember, they've been in 4 of the last 5 AFC championships.
They have. It's gonna be what? It's gonna be Denver now, isn't it?
This is the first year I heard him say this.
In 9 years.
First year of Patrick Holmes' career that they're not going to be in the AFC Championship game. That's all he's known. Every year he's been a starter, they have gone to the AFC Championship game. So not only are you going to not be in that game, you're going to not be in the playoffs at all. The Chiefs need a reset, and I don't know if that's a rebuild.
But see, I think the problem is sometimes you wait too late to realize that you need you need a reset. Like yeah.
It's hard to determine.
Last year when they were losing all these 1-score games and all these injuries and stuff. And Kelsey needed to retire last year, honestly.
Two people need to go. And it's Kelsey.
He's retired. He's going to marry Swift and go off and do
Chris Jones.
podcast.
Chris Jones needs to go.
Chris is getting older too.
He's overpaid and he's taking up too, and then you got Patrick making $45+ million a year. He's eating up a lot of your salary cap, and so you're trying to put it together. The good news for the Chiefs is this: they're going to be picking higher in the draft this year.
Yeah, so maybe
the last 5-6 years they've been picking 30th, 31, 32.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're going to be picking in the middle of the first round, more towards the top, because they only have 6 wins. So they'll get a better draft pick, and they need to pick. They got a lot of needs.
They need a lot. They're gonna need
offensive
a tight
line,
end.
Defensive line. Yeah.
They need
tight end.
Tight end.
No, I like that tight end they got behind him.
Behind Kelsey.
Yeah, but he just hasn't gotten a lot of run because Kelsey is Kelsey. But I like that guy. But that D-line, they have no pass rush. 0. They cannot rush it. They cannot get pressure on the passer. And everybody expected Chris Jones to make a play, make the sack, and he can't do it. And so they need a pass rusher, probably two. And they need another offensive lineman.
Yeah, definitely.
I like Simmons, but he missed 4 games for personal reasons, and now he's hurt. So, Chiefs, I don't want to say rebuild, but they definitely need a reset.
They do. Because with Mahomes, I think they got potential, but he needs some help. He can't do it all himself.
And when I was watching my man Dan today, Mahomes missed some easy passes. I was watching Get Up, and Dan was showing where there were touchdowns. He left 3 touchdowns on the field because, and some of it's because of the line, so he couldn't see it. He didn't have enough time to really see the play, the route developing. So I'll give him that pass because the Texas defensive line is ferocious. So your eyes do come down and you look up and you're just trying to get rid of the ball. So, but he left meat on that bone. And if you want to, Patrick Mahomes is still Patrick Mahomes. You can't take those 3 Super Bowls away from him. You can't take the 5 Super Bowl appearances away from him. But you want your franchise quarterback to be comfortable when he drops back to pass. And when he's your leading rusher and he is making miracles on damn near every play because the line is that bad, you're going to have a problem. And that's what they're experiencing this year. And now they've lost that fear factor. They used to come into your stadium, everybody be afraid of the Chiefs. Nobody's afraid of the Chiefs.
Yeah, nobody. Yeah, I think after the Super Bowl, nobody was afraid of the Chiefs. After they got.
Yeah, that really was an exposing. They're like, wait, what? You can do this to the Chiefs? Oh.
Because the score didn't do the game justice, the final.
They got a pass for the Tom Brady Super Bowl because they realized that their tackles were out. So like, oh, their tackles are out. It wasn't a fair fight.
Yeah, and that was earlier in his career too, Pat.
Right. And it's Tom Brady, so Tom Brady's going to get the lion's share of the credit for every time they win. But this time, that was a massacre.
It was.
And they were like, wait a minute. A 15-1 or 15-2 Chiefs team. What were they? 16-1?
I think they lost 2 games, but I don't remember.
They lost 2 games last year. Yeah, 15-2. And one of them was the last game of the season where they put in the backup quarter. They put in all the backups and rested for the playoffs. So
yeah, that one don't count.
That don't really count. So they were 15-1 last year. Oh, that's not good.
What? You talking about this game?
Yeah. But yeah, so that was my biggest surprise. I do agree with you 100% that the head coach in Cleveland has got to get his head out of his ass.
No, I'm like, even if they would have lost that game, I would have liked to see Shedeur actually try to win the game, you know?
Stefanski.
They knew when they switched, they were going to do a trick play. And what the heck they were doing, man.
This is the second time that Kevin Stefanski has taken Shedeur off the field or out of the play after a touchdown. Mm-hmm. He did it in his first game. He did it yesterday in a crucial moment. That man brought you back to the brink of winning that game. Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't you let him
finish?
Bring it home.
They lost anyway. I mean, you might as well just let him play. It ain't like they're going nowhere to the postseason. Let him play to see what he can do.
I was at the Falcons game. I was watching the highlights of the Cleveland game in Falcons Stadium. The Falcons made me mad because they were like, they teased me for a half. I'm like, shit, do this in the first half so I can leave early. Don't have the 6-6 at halftime, and now I got to watch the third quarter. And as soon, couldn't even get back from getting my drink from the third quarter. Just sat down in the seat. Oh, he ran back to open the kick for the here we go. Touchdown. I was like, I was telling my wife, I said, look, we're probably gonna be gone by halftime because this is gonna get ugly. This is gonna get ugly real quick. And then they teased me for half. Well, the defense teased me, not the offense. The offense was bad as I expected. But the defense held us in the game, 6-6 at halftime. Sam Darnold looking bad. They couldn't run the ball. I'm like, okay. And then
Sam Darnold have been looking good the last couple games.
I told my bartender, when I come to the games for the rest of the season, I'm bringing Obama's book with me, The Audacity of Hope, because that's the only thing we got.
You're gonna be like AJ reading a book at the game.
Reading the book, Audacity of Hope. This is what we got. So it was bad. So I think. So now, who's left in the playoff? So you got the Broncos look like they're going to be number 1 seed.
The Broncos, yes.
Bills. That are
the Steelers now. At least they're number 1 in the North. Who is it going to?
I roll the Steelers. Yes,
Steelers. The Steelers are number 1 in the North.
New England.
Yes, New England.
New England has a chance to be the number 1 seed.
And Jaguars to the South.
Jaguars have surprisingly figured something out. And Houston. So that's because so you got the Bills, New England. So that's 2 from that division. You got the Broncos, the Jaguars, the Texans. That's 5. Who are the other 2?
Who are the other 2?
The Steelers. That's right. We didn't say Steelers.
We still consider North. Yes.
6.
The Ravens are out of it now.
And I think the Chargers are flirting.
Yeah, they're flirting. We'll see what they do tonight.
There's a couple teams that are flirting, but yeah. So really, of that motley crew, the Bills are that's not an exciting group of teams in the playoffs.
It's not. The AFC is surprising. You thought the regulars, the Chiefs, you think the Bills, you think the Ravens definitely gonna be in there. And look what happened this year.
So you've got an opportunity. So the reality is the Steelers actually have an opportunity because Buffalo's not very good.
They're really
especially
not.
On the defensive side.
On the defense. I mean, Josh think that he can't do that every game, and he might turn the ball over while he's trying to beat Josh.
Right. So none of those teams are like world beaters.
No, because they all have significant deficiencies.
Right. The Texans are unproven. The Jaguars are definitely unproven. Yeah. The Colts
are in the playoffs.
The Colts might back in.
In the playoffs.
That's the 7th. They might back in.
Yeah, I think they're.
But now with a rookie quarterback, they may fall all the way out because the Texans and the Jaguars are playing better football. The Texans are on like a 4 or 5 game winning streak.
They are. Depends on the last 4 games.
And they got CJ's playing really well right now, and the defense is the defense. So I don't know. And then look at the NFC though. The NFC is kind of like everybody's talking like Green Bay. Mm-hmm. Detroit might figure out how to back in. Chicago is surprisingly good, so they might get 3 from that division. Detroit's the one that needs the most help.
They did help.
Has the biggest issue.
They're looking in.
We'll say Green Bay and Chicago. In the South, it'll probably be the Bucs, even though they just lost to the Saints yesterday.
Yeah, division games are weird. Oh.
So Carolina is actually challenging the Bucs
in the
So what was it? 6-7, 6-7? That's what we're talking about.
Yeah. So my thing is gonna be the Bucs, us, Green Bay, Chicago, maybe. Mm-hmm.
Chicago, and then you got the Rams and the 49ers.
49ers, yeah.
So Rams, 49ers.
And the Seahawks too. They're in there.
Seahawks, yep. So those 3 from that one division. Then you've got 2 so you got the Packers and the Bears, so that's 5. You all 6. And then
Detroit in the hunt, the Panthers in the hunt, and who else is the other team that's in the hunt? There was the Cowboys until they lost. But
it was the Cowboys until they lost. But they were going to have to win the division because they weren't going to win on record.
They would have to, yeah. Then they would have to win out.
They were going to lose.
We would have to lose out, which
they're going to lose every time.
We're not going
to. That tie is not good.
Yeah, the tie. Because even if we lose tonight, well, I don't think we're going. I think we'll beat the Ravens in at least the Commanders one time. We played them twice still.
The good news is the Commanders are terrible, and they're getting ready. They're planning their vacation. Their players are already planning their vacation. So those are two. Those are two wins.
We play the Bills and the Chargers. Those are the hardest two games we got left. Which is
yes, because the Chargers are still playing hard, as you can see right now.
They're trying to make playoffs, so they got something to play for.
Yes, they are.
That man just had surgery. Got here playing.
Yeah, the Chargers are 8-4.
Yeah, they trying to make the playoffs. They trying to They got something to play for. The rest of the teams, or the Bills, the rest of the teams we playing aren't going to be a player other than the Bills. The rest of our schedule.
So the NFC playoff picture is clearer than the AFC.
Yes.
And they've got some teams that are clearly better than everybody else. The Rams. I will still throw your Eagles in there, even though they haven't looked great.
The offense is too inconsistent.
That Bears game was not pretty to watch, though.
What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about? I'm trying to mess up my Thanksgiving weekend.
Woo!
What you talking about? They ran, man. I'm like, what are y'all doing?
That was like smothering a puppy. It was bad.
It really was on both ends.
That was borderline disrespectful to what they did.
And at home, too, in Philly.
At home, right? We in there and just ran for two.
I'm just like, what is going on? Y'all can't stop nothing. And they can't, the offense can't get nothing. Come on.
Yeah, that was a clinic. That was a clinic. So we'll see. But I do think the top two teams, as I see it in the NFC, are the Rams and the Packers. Packers are very good.
They are.
And they're getting better.
They are.
Because Watson came back yesterday, had a big game. I heard a stat today.
I think the team is better than Caleb is. I mean, Caleb is getting better, but the team, the run game, the coach, and their defense, it's not Caleb that's causing them.
No, it's not Caleb. Caleb played a good second half, and he made some spectacular plays, but he's still missing the layups, right? He's still not accurate enough to. And I think, but here's what I'll say about Caleb. I think sometimes we get caught up in the quarterback has to be the guy leading the team to the Super Bowl.
They don't necessarily have to, though.
Because, literally, that's not what happened with your team last year. It was Saquon. Saquon was the leader of the offense. The offense ran through Saquon, no pun intended.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that.
And so, Jalen is humble enough
to
realize winning is more important. I don't need to have 300 yards and 4 touchdowns in order to feel good about us.
You just want to win, whatever way possible.
If Jalen had 1 yard and y'all win the game, he'd be all right.
I like him.
He'll be all right.
He don't have a big
head. Which is why the coaches love him. Because he's not out there, he's not a me quarterback. So this year, I think, but I was concerned last year about the number of carries and number of total touches that Saquon had, and it's showing up this year. He doesn't have the same burst. He doesn't have the same acceleration.
See, I think that one of the problems is it's like he's going for the big plays. He's going for the dynamic plays. I mean, it's okay 4 yards. I mean, maybe not 2 or negative yards, but everything will be the same. And then, defense is gonna figure it out. So, and everybody gonna come with the A game playing us. So it's gonna be hard. And then
here's what I want to say to Saquon. If he ever got a chance to get a clip from the show, here's what I would say to Saquon. That's why you should have kept running the ball last year and broken the record.
Should have. I think you should have. But
this season, is Exhibit A why you should have been selfish enough and taken those extra snaps and played in that last game to break the record.
I would agree. He didn't
Because
really
they can't take that away from you.
Whole game. He didn't have
they can't take that away from you. But you didn't do it.
Well, at least he got a ring. But
he got a ring.
He got a ring.
He got a ring, and he's got a bell cow season that will help his Hall of Fame resume, right? But this season is not doing him any justice.
No. But it's not all his fault. Some of it's the line. Offensive line is not.
The line is not as good, yes, this year. The loss of Joe, what's your boy? Lane Johnson is big.
Yeah, he should be back.
The loss of Lane Johnson is big, and so it's showing up in the record without Lane Johnson versus him on the field is there's a big discrepancy there. So Eagles, I still trust them because they
after the second 3 and out.
They kick a field goal though. You about to kick a field goal.
Jake. All right, Jake.
Right down the middle. Woo!
Jake.
So, I still think it's right now. If you held a gun to my head, I would say it's the Rams.
No, I would agree. The Rams are number one.
Yeah.
Us, it depends. I'm still waiting for the game where we can get it together. The Rams had y'all
beat really bad.
But they came back. That was a wonderful game because I was about to turn it off. But I be wanting to turn the game off, but I can't because I wanted to turn that game off on Christmas. Thanksgiving, Black Friday, but I couldn't.
The reason why people still give the Eagles a puncher's chance is
talent.
The talent. And they know that any point in time, Jalen Carter and that defensive line when that defense turns on and decides to play, they can't be stopped.
But I think some of the problem is they be out there too long because they be too many 3 and outs.
Yes. But when they want to play, they're one of the best defenses in the league.
The defense, when they hitting on all cylinders, yes. Our secondaries are the weakest part of our defense.
And they're learning after winning the Super Bowl, you just want to get back to the Super Bowl. You don't want to go through the regular season grind. And that's what I'm seeing this year. Sometimes they bail it in. And that's what I'm seeing. They're trying to figure out how to get motivated every week. Because you're right, they're getting everybody's best shot. Oh, y'all the Super Bowl champions? Prove it. And you got to prove it 17 times in a row. And then you got to do it 3 more times, right, in the playoffs. So
we gonna have a number 1 seed. So
it's hard to get that emotion up every single week to play at your optimal level. So I give them a pass. I think and what you're seeing in the Chiefs this year is fatigue of all those years.
Yeah,
they've played 20. The Chiefs. I heard a stat. The Chiefs have played 21 extra games,
which is more than a season.
Which is more than a season. Because of all of the postseasons that they've been in. That's a lot.
Yeah, and then they do all these extra games. They do all these games in
everywhere.
London and blah, blah, blah.
Brazil.
Christmas
they've been
Day,
in London. Wednesday, Tuesday. They're trying to be America's team, and it's taking its toll on their players. Their emotion, their routines have been disrupted. They're having to dig deep. They know they're getting everybody's best shot every game. It is hard, and they're getting older at the same time, and that's what's showing up. And so, a little bit of concentration. So they've got the 3rd most drops in the league. That's concentration. Then it's not like they're not good receivers; they're just not concentrating. And so it's hard. I'm not giving them a pass. I'm just saying, hey, these are the realities of being successful for that long. The Eagles are hit in that space right now, right? Because remember, they went to the Super Bowl, they missed a year, then they came back and won the Super Bowl, and now they're in that phase of to sustain success. You've got to be able to just let it all go and get back into the grind, and they're learning. That's hard.
It's hard. And if we had a better offensive coordinator, I think that would help. Honestly,
Yes, and now you got 2 new coordinators.
See, though Vic is consistent. Vic was there last year, so Vic is
Oh,
cool.
that's right. It was
Vic is cool. It's just the OC because he wanted to be.
It was Detroit that had
Saints.
2 that replaced both their coordinators.
Yeah, the
Detroit.
Saints. He wanted to be the Saints head coach.
Yeah. So, and this is what Jalen's 4th offensive coordinator in 5 years.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So it's starting to show, and they've got to do better about that. So, but I still trust them because of the talent, and they've been there before, so they know what they, So the playoffs are a different animal. And
I think you're gonna see it in the Patriots. You're gonna see it in the Broncos. Lack of experience, even though they got some.
Yeah, I think Bo Nix is going to get exposed. Sean Payton's a good coach, but Bo Nix, you can't keep doing that. Fourth quarter comeback.
Yeah.
Getting down 10, fourth quarter comeback. They're the Chiefs of last year.
Mm.
Oh, we pull it out at the end. That's not going to work in the playoffs.
Nope.
So
not. So we'll see. Playoffs should be interesting. I like it when I really right now I have no idea who's going to win the on each side and who's going to win the Super Bowl. I think it's whoever wins the Super Bowl. I think it's going to come out of the NFC. But I might be wrong. But I have no idea who's actually going to make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, this year is the most kind of confusing because I think the Rams and, like I said, with the Rams and Green Bay have the most potential to do it because of what we've seen thus far through the season. But you never know. The Green Bay, the wrong injury can derail them, and I'm not fully I trust Jordan Love more than I trust Danny Dimes, but I still don't trust him enough.
No, he can revert to
I trust
bad love.
Matthew Stafford.
That too.
He's been there, done it. So I trust if he's healthy, I trust Matthew Stafford, but I just don't trust Jordan Love. That's why I'm on them. On the AFC side,
I don't trust anybody on the AFC side, honestly.
Based on who's in the playoffs right now,
I don't trust anybody.
I would root for the Texans.
I probably would too. Woo! That interception. I probably would too.
Black coach, black quarterback.
The coach and the quarterback. Yeah.
Coach and the quarterback. Yeah.
I'd agree. And I actually would be happy because I like CJ and I like the quarterback. I mean, I like the coach too. He used to be.
So, I hometown Jacksonville. I would want them to be successful, but in terms of who I'd be rooting for, it would be the Texans.
Probably. I'm trying to think. I want Lamar to make playoffs, but will they?
Not like this.
If the Steelers make the playoffs, I just want them to win a playoff game.
I'd rather the Ravens not make the playoffs
because they ain't gonna actually do anything.
Because they're not going to do anything, and it's going to be
another
thing about that narrative about Lamar in the playoffs, right? And it's like, just don't make the playoffs. Reset. Y'all figure out, get your running game together, figure out what's going on in the offseason. Which is why I don't want the Chiefs to make the playoffs. Because
they need to figure out too. But they ain't not gonna go far.
You're not gonna go far, right? So why waste it? I understand the playoffs, you get that playoff check. I mean, for the players, I want every team to make the playoffs, right? From a player standpoint. Because for some of those players, those playoff checks help them financially. Everybody's not making $50 million a year.
No.
Despite what the media tries to act like.
I know.
Football players make good salaries, but
Uncle Sam probably take most of it anyway.
Uncle Sam taking a lot of that money. And then they got family and everybody thinks
that everybody wants a little hand out. Mm-hmm.
Everybody
wants a little something.
Everybody wants to start their barbecue business, and their uncle want a little seed money for their barbecue business. I get it. So I want everybody to get those playoff checks and have that playoff experience, but that's not the reality. Even though 14 teams out of 32 make the playoffs, that's still almost half the league.
Sure.
That is, but in terms of the Ravens and the Chiefs, I don't want them to make the playoffs.
It's just weird to have playoffs without either of those.
Lamar and
the Bills not even winning their division.
Right. You got Drake May winning the division.
Drake May of all people, the Patriots.
But Drake May's going to find out the hard way next year because they're playing a bad schedule right now. Because remember, they're playing a losing schedule.
Yeah.
But when you win a division, guess what? You got to play all the top teams.
Like,
they're going to be playing the Rams and the Eagles next year. So Drake May, you're going to have to step the game up. And not saying that he can't. I'm just saying
but it's going to be different than this year.
They're benefiting from an easy schedule.
Yeah.
And Miami is terrible, and the Jets are the Jets. So
the Jets are the Jets.
That's 4 wins right there. Just like the Patriots of old. You know, the Bills are better, but you've already beaten them this year, so you're playing with house money.
True.
So I think it's going to be interesting. These next couple of weeks we're going to learn a lot.
True. Playoff. See, I don't think I'm going to learn a lot from my team the last couple of weeks.
You're going to learn a lot about your team tonight.
Tonight.
Okay.
I'm just
Every
saying.
week you're going to learn something about your team.
Well, I don't think I'm going to learn much. Today is a hard game. The Bills are a hard game. The other game. But who knows? Any given Sunday.
This is probably one of the harder teams to play. Because you never know, like, because they've got a lot of injuries and they're figuring it out, but like they're just scrappy and they play hard and you don't
play,
like
and they have a good coach.
Yeah, so like it's
coaching matters. I don't know
there's
why.
some teams that aren't good.
They friends to be coordinators and stuff, and they improving themselves, and that just bothers me.
There's some teams that aren't really, like, based on their record, aren't really good, but I wouldn't want to play.
Like
Chargers,
the Cowboys.
The Carolina
Cowboys,
Panthers,
actually, depending on when they're playing,
the Carolina Panthers, I don't want to play. The Cowboys, I don't want to play because they have enough talent to F around and beat you.
That's true.
And they play hard enough.
The Cowboys at home.
Yes, to F around and beat you. So I don't want to face those teams. I want to face New Orleans, the Commanders, the Colts right
Raiders.
now. The Raiders. Oh, I play the Raiders every day.
Raiders.
They're terrible.
Yeah,
hot garbage.
I feel bad for them.
Arizona
too. Yeah. Kyler Murray.
I can't even say Miami anymore because Miami's been.
Miami won a few games. They won a
3 or 4. They're on like a 3 or 4 game winning streak. I wouldn't because they got too much speed.
The Jets.
Yeah, so there's some team. I'd love to play Atlanta.
Well, they might beat the Saints.
We make it tough for a half, but
they make it beat the Saints.
With Kirk Cousins, no.
Yeah, that's sad. It's sad about Phoenix.
So yeah, so those are So in the little bit of time we have left, what did you think about the college football playoff rankings?
Well, I'm biased when it comes to Bama. I think Bama should have been in. But see, I think the problem with the playoffs, for one, the whole Miami Notre Dame controversy, they should have had Miami ranked over Notre Dame a couple weeks ago. And they wouldn't have been so shocked because they've been telling them they better than them, even though they beat them. They better than them, and then they basically get the boot at the end. It's like, you dating and somebody be like, I'm in love with you, and then you get dumped at the last minute. It's kind of like the scenarios. They should have had Miami or something.
Not only did you get dumped at the last minute, they dumped you and then went and married somebody else.
So I'm just saying they should. And then, so I really do think Texas and Notre Dame will be a better game than, say, James Madison
and Tulane.
So, but I think Bama shouldn't have been penalized for losing, even though they got beat down in a conference championship when you don't have to play a conference championship. And I think Notre Dame problem is they want to be independent. If they would actually play the championship game, they actually might have actually made the playoffs. And their 2 losses came against Miami and Texas A&M. So those are
the 2 teams that they played on their schedule that were worth a damn. They lost.
Yeah, and it was so and then They lost to Miami, so Miami should have got in when they were talking about that.
The Texas A&M game, to their credit, was close, and it was a field goal that a kicker missing a field goal that cost them that game. So I'll give them, but you don't get style points. You win or you lose, right?
Yeah. So and then they don't have a conference. So I mean, they don't. And then they were fussing about the ACC lobby.
No, they got a conference.
Miami.
They chose not to join it in football. Yeah, they have a conference in 24 other sports.
Yeah,
other than football,
they want that money.
They're an ACC team.
Yeah. But they mad at ACC for lobbying for Miami and not them. They chose to be their own entity. So that's your fault.
Right. I'm like.
So I have no sympathy for them. I like the coach. I never liked Notre Dame, but I like the coach. And I do think they are better than James Madison and Tulane. But,
yeah, they've already signed a memorandum of understanding, right? So for those people that are watching, like
I don't understand. I don't understand that. Like, how did they get to, if they're in the top 12? They get in.
This is the part that y'all could tell your friends when you stand around talk about sports. So there's a memorandum of understanding that goes into effect next year. That basically like, it goes into effect next year. That basically says that Notre Dame, if they're in the top 12, they will get a bid to the playoffs, right? And so that is, I don't know how they came up with that agreement. I don't know why they came up with that agreement. Notre Dame is getting privilege. Notre Dame is getting privileges again.
I don't understand that. How did they work that out? So until however many years if they're in the top 12, they make it to the playoffs.
I think what they're doing, they're subtly phasing out
conference championships.
The James Madison and Tulane's being able to make it into the playoffs.
But I was listening to Get Up this morning, and they said like if the scenario was next year,
yes, Notre Dame would have made
Duke would be in the playoffs.
Yes,
which is crazy, and I don't understand why Miami wasn't in the ACC championship with Duke
because they lost to. Remember, they got divisions and they lost to Virginia, so Virginia won their division based on that head-to-head record, and so because of that, so like that was a tiebreaker. I think they had identical records in terms of the ACC, but because Virginia had beaten them, they got the bid, and then they promptly went and lost to Duke, a 5-loss team. But
if it was like next year, they're just gonna have the 4 conference championship. That would have been Duke, and the Duke should not be in no playoffs with 5 losses. That's bullcrap.
Duke shouldn't be in the FCS playoff.
Just say I don't see. That's good football, and that's what I really care about. Even though I do cheer for Bama, I actually want to see good games, not blowouts.
Kalen DeBoer needs to get his team together because they did not look good against Auburn, and they definitely didn't look good against Georgia.
They did. So Auburn always is a hit or miss with these
I get it, but
still, I understand. Saban would have had them looking better than that.
Optics, and so but the one saving grace that Alabama had was you don't want to penalize teams for playing in the championship.
Yeah, and then they beat Georgia in Georgia.
Right, which was a better win than beating them in Atlanta. Because they went to Athens and put foots in them. But they did not play.
Oh, I agree with that. They didn't look good at all because I was like, what the fuck are y'all doing when I turned the game on? So, but I don't think they should have been penalized for losing.
No, and you can't do that. Like, you can't do that because otherwise teams are going to be like, oh, I'm going to lose a random game so I don't play the conference championship, right? So, or they'll just decline playing in the game. And you don't want to open up that can of worms. So what you do is you say, all right, can't penalize Alabama. So now that takes us down to, and we're going to let James Madison and Tulane into the playoffs, which they're going to get boat raced. But we're going to let them into the playoffs. So now I'm down to one spot for 2 teams. And really, if I'm being completely honest, I think Texas deserved a look more so than Notre Dame. And
I agree. Well, I think Texas and Notre Dame should be in versus Tulane and James Madison. I even that.
Oh yeah, if you could take Tulane and James Madison out, it would have been Notre Dame, Texas should have been in those last 2 spots. Yeah. Those should have been because then you have a really complete field. Because Texas is playing the best football right now, or some of the best football right now of college teams, and they've got a better resume than Notre Dame in terms of strength of schedule.
SEC, because they were like 41 or 42, I think.
Yeah, they played a tougher schedule.
ACC as a freaking.
What hurt Texas was this
compared to the Big Ten and the SEC.
If Texas had beaten Florida, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
In Florida, even though their records are
that's all they had to do.
It's a rough game to go down in the swamp. Yeah.
They went to Swamp. If they had beaten Florida, because they weren't going to beat Georgia, and then they lost to Ohio State. Those two losses, nobody's complaining about. Mm-hmm. Ohio State was number one most of the season until the Big Ten
they lost the
championship. And Georgia is a SEC champion. Mm-hmm. It's the loss to Florida that hurt Texas. Because everybody, they beat Vanderbilt, they beat Oklahoma, they beat Texas A&M when they were undefeated. They beat some really good teams. That Florida loss cost them the playoff. Right. And that's...
I agree with that, but I just don't think it's fair because SEC beat up on each other.
Yes. And then you don't, and then there's the teams that you don't expect to be good. Now you got to contend for, like Vanderbilt. Like Vanderbilt was an easy win every year. Now they show up. Now
You might get upset.
Like where's your, Kentucky plays hard. Like that. Like every team in SEC now plays hard. What I'm worried about with Texas A&M is they played a really easy schedule. They avoided all of the big boys in the SEC, which is why their schedule is artificially inflated. Notre Dame is a good win, but that was a close win. But they lost to Texas. Like the one team that was worth the damn that they played, they lost to them. But everybody else, they played Arkansas. They were playing bad teams in the SEC. Tennessee wasn't very good. Like they,
Yeah, so we'll see how they do.
They beat some not bad teams. They beat the marginal teams in the SEC, but they didn't have to play the big boys, the Georgias, the Alabamas, and they lost to Texas. So I'm really interested to see how they perform in the playoffs. Because I watched that Texas game and they were unimpressive. And the games that I've seen Texas A&M play, even I watched the Notre Dame game. Notre Dame should have won that game, but they had a freshman quarterback and they were still trying to find themselves in the second game of the season. So, and the kicker messed it up. So I if there was a team, but based on their record, you couldn't keep them out of the playoffs because where they were ranked and based on their record, you got to keep them in. But I think they're the weakest, highest ranked team in the playoffs of the teams that I've watched. It's Texas A&M. I even think Ole Miss is better than Texas A&M. But without
their head coach, without the head coach, how they gonna look though?
They're going to have the offense coordinator, but Kiffin, we'll see. Maybe Spike will drive them. And they're playing Tulane in that first game. So they've already beat them by 4 touchdowns. They won't beat them by 4 touchdowns this time because of the loss of Kiffin, but I think they'll probably win by, 12, 13 points. 23-10, something like that. Just too many SEC bodies are different. So they got to figure that out. But I think that it'll be interesting to watch. But here's a last question of the night. Who do you think is going to win it all?
Who I want to win it all?
I know who you want to win. I know we know who you want.
I think Ohio State actually. But
I do too. I think the loss to Indiana is going to fuel them like the loss to Michigan did last year. In that they realize they can't just show up and win. They actually have to play. And so, sometimes the right loss can motivate a team. And I think this loss at the right time is going to motivate Ohio State. And so I give them. Now, Georgia's playing really good football right now. If I was a team, I wouldn't want to play Georgia. That defense is playing. Playing well. Yeah. And that quarterback is just he doesn't do anything great. He just keeps finding the right guy and making the right play. It's just he's a Kirby Smart quarterback. Like he's not an NFL quarterback, but somehow he's a great college quarterback, right? You know, so he's got that Tim Tebow factor, right? This kid, I don't get it. So get all your money now, player, because you're not playing on Sundays. This is the last time you're gonna play. But Georgia's a team I wouldn't want to see. Miami is playing good ball, but I don't trust the coach. And if Alabama could get back to what they were doing, they ran that 4-game streak when they were beating 4 top-ranked teams in a row. If they can get back to that level, Alabama will be a tough out too. But I just think Ohio State's got more NFL bodies and experience that I think they'll, if they're healthy, they should have a. The only weak link on that Ohio State team is a quarterback, and that showed up on in championship game.
We'll see. I just wanted to watch some good games. Yes. But I have a feeling.
Don't watch James Madison and don't watch Tulane.
I think James Madison's going to be to a real blowout.
Do your taxes on those days.
I think that's going to be the
that's going to be. And what's sad is like one of our good friends here in Atlanta, their son is a really good football player, and he just signed with James Madison. Even though the coach is leaving to go coach elsewhere, he's going to be playing at James.
Tulane coach too.
Yeah, he's going to be playing at James Madison next year. So we'll see. So I don't think I'm happy for him. Like I think it's a good program, but we'll see. Hopefully they can replace a coach. But yeah, so that's
we'll see. Good luck. Good at the end of the year, beginning of the year.
Oh yeah. So. All right, y'all. I'm gonna let you go and watch your team. Hopefully, you can root them back into respectability.
7-3.
Yeah, and so I'm gonna get some dinner and get my life together for tomorrow's day. So, thank y'all for joining us.
All right, a couple weeks.
Y'all next time.